Do you ever wonder what is intended for or likely to be understood by only a small number? The traditional beliefs, customs, and stories of a community. A community not part of the mainstream, unconventional, peripheral, or extreme. Part of an anthology, a published collection of poems or other pieces of writing. This is Esoteric Lore. I'm your host, Edward Aponte, where I push you to ponder the fringes of folklore. Achieving the flow state. When we think about the flow state, this psychological, optimized psychological state of mind where you are in the zone, accomplishing, achieving your task almost on autopilot. That's a thing. Something that we can do through what psychologists and scientists call this flow state. Now, can we trigger the flow state? Is this something new? The term flow state is relatively new, maybe 100, 200 years old, but the triggering of the flow state, the achieving this effortless, focused state of achieving is based on the activation of a network in our brain. A network based on practice, based on experience. Recently, scientists looked at the brain scans of jazz musicians to reveal how to reach a creative flow state. The scientists compared the most experienced musicians with the least experienced ones. The most experienced participants showed activity in a network of brain areas associated with hearing and vision during a flow state, sensory regions that were not activated in the low experienced musicians. Decades of practice and performance apparently led to the development of a specialized brain network for jazz, guitar, improvisation. So it seems that creative flow can occur when two conditions are met. First, one has to gain expertise by practicing the task enough to develop or bake in a specialized brain network for performing that task. Second, one must release conscious control so the specialized network can take over and produce ideas on autopilot without the performer overthinking what they are doing or becoming overly self-conscious. Many a millennia ago, there was a esoteric protocol called Kuji-in. Kuji-in was a way to, let's say, trigger or promote the flow state for samurais, ninja, and esoteric Buddhists alike. Kuji-in, often associated with ninjutsu, esoteric Buddhism, and energy cultivation, can promote a flow state through several powerful mechanisms that align well with the psychological conditions needed for flow. Here's how it works. Let's begin by generally defining what is Kuji-in. Kuji-in is a series of 9 symbolic hand mudras, mantras, and mental visualizations. Each kuji or syllable corresponds to a spiritual or psychological principle like strength, intuition, or harmony, forming a sequence aimed at inner empowerment and focus. Flow state, as described by psychologists, is a state of deep immersion where action and awareness merge, time distorts, and performance peaks. Here's how Kuji-in helps get you there. Number 1, intentional focus or concentration. Each Kuji-in ritual requires a mudra, that's a hand posture, a mantra, a sacred syllable or phrase, and thirdly, visualization, energy, color, or deity. This triad demands total presence, locking your intentions into a narrow field, perfect for initiating flow. Number 2, challenge, skill balance. Kuji-in is both structured and flexible. Structured, you follow a precise sequence like martial arts, kata, or yoga. And flexible, you deepen your mastery with time, increasing complexity in visualization, energy work, or breath control. That sweet spot between difficulty and skill level is one of flow's core ingredients. Thirdly, clear goals and feedback. Each kuji has a clear intent. Example, Rin is about strength, Sha equals healing, and practitioners often report felt energy shifts, emotional clarity, or even visionary experiences. That's instant feedback, reinforcing immersion. Number 4, embodiment and ritual. The use of physical mudras, synchronized breath, and mantras tap into bodily intelligence. This creates a deep sense of integration between mind and body, a flow state hallmark. Number 5, loss of self-consciousness. The repetitive rhythm and symbolic meaning behind each kuji often moves practitioners beyond ego into a transpersonal or meditative state where the self dissolves and only the action remains. What is Kuji-in's neural and energetic impact on the flow state? From a neuroscience lens, 1, chanting. Chanting regulates the vagus nerve, the parasympathetic activation. Second of all, mudras. Mudras stimulate specific brain regions through tactile feedback. Thirdly, focused visualization activates the default mode network, reducing mental chatter. Energetically, it is said to harmonize chakras and cultivate chi or prana, deepening presence and vitality. Kuji-in promotes flow by narrowing attention, that's focus, balancing skill and challenge, that's growth, offering clear purpose, that's motivation, engaging the body and energy, that's integration, and finally moving beyond the ego, that's transcendence. That's how you achieve the flow state using Kuji-in. So what scientists are discovering is what samurai warriors have been practicing for centuries, and that is how to develop and deploy your expertise on demand. That is flow state, according to Kuji-in. Everyone knows that you must put in a great deal of practice before you can become fluent at something. The other key ingredient, however, is metacognition, or awareness of how you are thinking. Once you've put in the work, achieving flow relies on learning when to stop overthinking and macro-managing what you are doing and let your expertise take over. During a flow state, whatever you create or achieve will be your best work, and you will have enjoyed the process. If you like this video, please subscribe, share, and give us a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. See you next time.